right when I saw my data showing LTE, and I definitely think 5G is much more reliable. So, yeah, try this again. And I noticed just when it went to reconnect, when I lost the signal strength, I noticed people start popping in. So, yeah, sometimes that's just the way it goes. Um, More and more and more and more, the Starlink option looks better, probably obviously would look better, sound better. Yeah. Just to be able to mix it up. And I try not to like be in the same like location. I mean, I've been frequently going to the boulevard, which is a nice place to hang out, but um just wanted to do something a little different. And we'll see how this works out. Uh It's showing 5G now, so hopefully it stays in 5G. And again, I apologize for my previous live stream notification alert, taking a dump on me basically. So uh, we'll see who shows up. But anyway, if you're not familiar with me, my name's Michael. I'm from the United States, and I'm currently in living abroad in the Philippines. And hey, Latha created art on Rangolis. Uh, Hi, welcome, Latha Creative Art. Where am I from? I'm from the United States, but I'm currently in the Philippines, Dumaguete to be specific. Been living here in total 13 to 14 months. So welcome to the channel. And you're new, and I always love meeting new people and sharing my journey through live stream and through videos. But yeah, I'm just by the beach, and yeah, we'll see who shows up. I apologize. I attempted a live stream a few minutes ago and it didn't work. Uh, just because the data signal wasn't forgiven. So, welcome, Latha. I'm a professional drawing artist. Okay. Yeah, Wolfgang is here. Good afternoon, Wolfgang. He says, good afternoon, Michael. Yeah, I'm in a different spot. Hopefully, my AirPods are helping reduce the noise because I'm right along the street here, which travels right along the ocean here. Well, I figured I'd try and change it up a bit. I like to change scenery, not only for myself, but for you guys too. And yeah, it's a little cloudy today, but you know what? When we're in the Philippines, it's all right. You can see over there at Siquijor Island, behind this construction, if you're wondering what this is, they're actually putting another boardwalk boulevard here in Dumaguete. This is at the opposite end of the boulevard, but they're in the early stages of putting another boulevard boardwalk type thing there. Uh, well, yeah, like where I live is well, you can't see with the truck, but where I live is that high-rise white building there with the teal. There's like three buildings behind there. There's a mall up there, but this is all along the street. And yeah, so I thought I'd bring you guys here. Let me check out the comments and let me know how it sounds. Again, I've learned that the AirPods do very good with cancellation and stuff and background noise. So I will late the creative art Rango. Check out the spider. Uh, the spider. You can see wonder. But thank you. I'll check it out. Wolfgang. Obviously, good afternoon. He gave me like number one. Anybody who's interested, if you give me a like, obviously maybe you like me just a little bit, but it does help grow the channel. And yeah, it grows the channel and it gets more, gives me more of an audience, reaches an audience to reach out to more people with my channel. I prefer live streams and videos, but I like doing the live streams now. I wasn't so sure if that'd be something I'd be into, but it's kind of fun and personal and intimate. So I'm gonna see if I can sit here for a little bit, but I will check it out later. Wolfgang, like number one. Thank you. Thank you, Wolfgang. I did put extra. natural sunblock on my nose today. I remember you pointed out that it was getting a little red, which I don't know what point that happened. I did have my cap off for a little bit at one point, so probably then. But I appreciate the kind help for me, but I got more on. I put a lot on actually. Um, but you did say something about, oh, wait, the rain. I don't want to go too far. Uh, Latha, so Wolfgang number one. Latha said, beautiful view. Yeah, I love the Philippines. Absolutely love it here. Wolfgang, there we go. We had rain all night long. Was it raining today? Right now, I haven't noticed it. Maybe it did rain last night. I guess the ground looks a little wet here by the wall, but it could be just because of the water and the waves splashing at some point. But right now, this is it's good. Sometimes it's okay to get a little break from the sun. It's humid, but you got the breeze right here by the water. Um, so you had rain all night last night. I didn't notice any. About uh 4:30 a.m. we had a power outage though, Wolfgang. It just went out for like 10 minutes and came back on. If I remember correctly, we had generators, but like I said, it was like 10 minutes. So maybe a generator did kick in. It takes that long, 10 minutes. I guess I'm used to generators in a hotel where they kind of kicked them on right away. But I know another apartment I lived at, they had a generator outside and basically took a few minutes so someone fired it up and then we had electricity. Wolfgang says sound is good, a bit crisp sometimes, but fine, thank you. Uh, Vladimir says it's the guy who stole the church donations money, y'all. Yeah, I appreciate you being here, Vladimir, but I don't steal church donations from anybody. I actually donate to churches. I actually also donate money to people here that are less fortunate in the Philippines. I'm a Christian, so yeah, I don't steal money from the church donations. So you're I don't know if you're a church person or a Christian yourself, but probably not very kind of you to like misjudge me and you don't even know me to say that. Like that's just like a ridiculous comment. But hey, if that's what you how you are and how you approach people when you first meet them, uh, yeah, funny, funny, funny. But yeah, not me. But welcome, Vladimir. Where are you from? Do you live near a church? Are you monitoring the church fund? Uh, Terry Faustino says hi with the hand emojis. Hi, Terry Faustino. Uh, Welcome. Where are you from? My name is Michael. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines. Thank you, David. He says you're back. Thank you. I apologize for the technical difficulties. Um, I simply walked outside of my apartment building. I figured, oh, I'll just come across for the water, sit here, change it up. Although it's like a wall, but I'm not. I'm definitely not at the boulevard. I'm at the opposite end. So I apologize. It showed LTE on my data instead of currently 5G, which I think that's always the better option to have is 5G. And I only had to walk, I don't know, a couple hundred yards away from where I was at. Now things are actually working. So that's good. Uh, Wolfgang says, LOL, where did you get the shoes? Oh, the where right in front of the mosque. Yeah, I do have cool shoes, but I bring them from home. I'm very, very particular with Brooks shoes. I tried every brand you can possibly think of, and Brooks to me are the best. And the bottoms hold up. I put a lot of miles on my shoes. I've noticed when I get like I'm trying to Nike looks good. Do I think they're the most comfortable? No. Uh, it's more of a brand thing in my opinion with Nike. Adidas, they're nice, a little more comfortable, but the bottoms don't last very long. Um, Hoka, they work good too. Like I probably tried. I don't know, at least 10 brands. A6 gel. Like I've gone through a lot, and one thing I found is Brooks were the best for me, so I kind of just stuck with that. Uh, elect Electro Edit says, "Hey Uncle, how's your day? My day's going great." Electro Edits, I'm glad you're here. I think you're new. Your channel name doesn't look familiar, but I'm happy that you're here. My day's great. I'm living in the Philippines, enjoying, life. I do a lot of walking and talking, obviously, and yeah, live stream's kind of new for me. Well, recently I've been doing it a lot, trying to build like a community and helps build the channel and just sharing my journey of an American here in the Philippines. But Electro Edits, okay, yeah, I'm from U.S. Electro Edits. I'm in Dumaguete, Philippines right now. Dumaguete. Uh, Wolfgang says, "Just kidding, Michael." Hey, no problem, Wolfgang. I'm just kidding, playing too. It's all fun. It's all fun and games, Uh, Apparently, I'm taking money from the church or something like that. I don't know. It's funny the comments people come up with. Oh yeah, yeah. Uh, Electro Addict says, "Where in the Philippines?" Because I live in the Philippines. Dumaguete, my friend. Where exactly in the Philippines are you at, Electro Edit? Oh, you're so you're Dumaguete as well. Is that what you're saying? You said, oh, I'm Dumaguete too, which small world, over 7,000 islands in the Philippines, and here in Mindanao. All right, I know where Mindanao is. Welcome, Electra. And I like, not only do I like being able to connect with foreigners all over the world that may be looking to explore and try something different and visit the Philippines. Also, I truly love the locals. It's my number one thing about the Philippines. People always ask me, and I say this all the time: what's your number one reason for selecting the Philippines or coming here? Or what's your favorite thing after being here, I should say? People's number one. People is number one. Very welcoming, very friendly. Always want to say hello to you, like people you don't even know personally. Um, and I really get that here in Dumaguete. I'm sure it's like that in Mindanao also. Um, I know here in Dumaguete they speak Visaya. I was in Bacolod for 4 months. They speak Tagalog. Obviously, many different languages. I'm sure you're aware of in the Philippines. I know a few words here or there, but not a whole lot. How's your weather in Mindanao right now? Is it cloudy like this, or clouds, or rain, or you got all sunshine in Mindanao? And what's going on with you, Wolfgang? How are you doing today? David was here. Oh yeah, there he is. David's usually he's a good listener, but he throws in his comments too. I just keep counting down the days for you, David. Friend of ours, he's coming to the Philippines very soon. Like you says, like me, it's a bit cloudy outside. Yeah, but it's okay. It's still warm, still a little bit of sun, but as I was saying earlier, Dumaguete, they're always doing a lot. And I saw this construction because I hadn't been down at this end on this side until I moved into my apartment, which is over here. But I asked them what's all this construction here, and they said they're building it up like a boardwalk boulevard place to walk along the water, and probably vendors and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be really cool. They need something like that down here. I mean, you go up down that way, you got the North Point restaurant way down this way. But I like it because everything's along the water. I love walking along the water. I mean, coffee bean there, plenty of places, plenty of coffee shops in the Philippines. That's one thing. Sometimes I wonder how these coffee shops stay in business because there's so many of them. Uh, so Electro, it's a bit cloudy outside. Electro says that not that dark. Wolfgang says, "Yeah, I understand. It's the main reason for me here in Thailand that people are great." Yeah, Wolfgang, someday I'm gonna go there and I'll be sure. I don't know exactly where you're at. I've had friends that have obviously been in Bangkok. They speak very highly of Hua Hin, more of a quiet, relaxed place, but nice beaches from what I saw in their videos and when they called me. Also, like nice places, like almost like outdoor street food markets, but much like I guess higher end food maybe in Thailand. But yeah, that's definitely a place I want to check out. Um, Electro Edit said, "Where did you live in the USA?" Born and raised in Pennsylvania, and I lived in Florida for 2 years. If I was still in the United States currently and not here, I would be living in Florida and I'd still be working also. Coming here to the Philippines allowed me to retire early. Um, I'd be remiss in not mentioning that fact. I'm sure that weighs heavily in a lot of people's decisions to come and retire here or retire early and be able to live here and survive off of a lot less money than what they'd have to pay for in the United States. So, yeah, I'm blessed to be able to be here and be retired early and meet the most amazing people in the Philippines and set myself up for opportunities to visit many other islands here, as well as I want to go to Japan someday. There's a lot of places I really want to see while I'm here in Asia, and being here will basically giving me that opportunity. David says the day after tomorrow, I get on my flight. Yes, David, man, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy for anybody that's coming here, but I've gotten to know you over the time, some time here now, and it's really exciting to know that you're coming and through some of the adversity that you had gone through and whatnot. I'm very excited for you. Can't wait. Wolfgang says I'm doing good. We have 24 Celsius, but it will rain all day long. Okay, so they're calling for rain for you. Yeah, I didn't really check the weather, to be honest with you. I think I check the weather more when I lived in the United States than I do when I live here. Probably because I had to deal with 4 seasons in the US and I guess I was I guess I was trying not to get my hopes up, especially in the winter when the weather was snow, freezing rain, all that stuff. Yeah. Electro Edit says, "Oh, we have a house in Miami. That's nice. Wow, that's really cool. Your uncle's house. So they live in Miami. Well, that's the place to be if you want to resemble probably the Philippine wet, warm weather. Again, I've been to Miami, visited. I lived like an hour and a half north of Miami on the east coast of Florida when I was there. Again, if I was still in the U.S., I would be living in Florida. Um, I met another guy just the other day, same name as me. Michael was kind of ironic. Lots of Michaels everywhere. Very popular name. I guess it's just funny to meet so many Michaels here in the Philippines. Foreigners, but he was from Florida. And I asked him, I said, how do you compare? Because people ask me this, and I'm not sure I just remember accurately enough, but he's a lifer in Florida. So I said, all right, you spent your entire life in Florida. How do you compare the humidity and the heat here in Dumaguete compared to Florida? And he actually thought it was more humid in Florida than it is here, which was an interesting response. I thought based off of my 2-year experience in Florida comparing to here, and I've only been here 14 months, I thought it felt very similar. So for me to adjust to the heat don't bother me. It's very I love the heat. I wouldn't be here if I didn't like the heat. So um yeah, I'd say it's very comparable to Florida. Obviously, you're closer to the equator here than you are. Sun's stronger. Point being, my nose got a little red yesterday. Uh, but Florida, maybe the humidity is higher. I mean, I only live in Florida for 2 years. It's not humid. Never had any hurricane, typhoon, bad situations. Just more like tropical storms. All I ever had to deal with in Florida. So I never really dealt with the hurricanes and severe damage and natural disasters while I was living there. But that's cool, Electro Edits. Thank you for again. I appreciate you being here and taking the time. It's so cool to meet new people as well as the normal people that are coming to live streams. Wolfgang says, "My wife run a coffee shop here, one of dozens of others. It's hard to live to do it." Yeah, I was always curious, Wolfgang. Like, I mean, I know coffee's popular. I know a lot of people drink it, myself included. I mean, typically at least one double espresso, sometimes two. But yeah, like you can't walk very far here in the Philippines. It's like coffee shop after coffee shop. Then you actually have the private, smaller family owned coffee shop, which I like going there sometimes too. You can actually get very good coffee and a lot less expensive than, something like, say, Starbucks, which honestly, I only went to Starbucks once since I've been here in Dumaguete, just because it was when that typhoon, I don't know if it was the first one or the second one that was to come through here, and a lot of places closed. So I needed my espresso double, coffee, and they were actually open. So I was lucky. Um, and when I lived in Bacolod, I went to uh, Starbucks a lot when I would hang out at the mall. Here, I go to Butt First Coffee. It's called Butt First Coffee. I know everybody like family there. And Dumaguete compared to Bacolod's, like I mentioned before, it's very different. The friendly vibe is much more, it's more family. Like Dumaguete's more like a town, where Bacolod's such much bigger city. So maybe that had a lot to do with um, the relationships and stuff seem a little more not difficult, but it's just more easier and easygoing here in Dumaguete. But that's just one person's opinion. Um, let me see. Wolfgang says, I'm in Wahine, Michael. All right. So then, well, maybe keep me in the back of your mind. I might be able to meet you for coffee then, when I finally make it to Thailand. But Wahine is very interesting to me. I like that. I mean, of course, yeah, it'd be cool to go to Bangkok and see all the wildness that you see in videos. I'd like to experience it once, just walk around and all the street food and different things that you see there. Obviously, the quality of the food I've heard in Thailand is uh, very good. So yeah, it'd be fun. I mean, I'm willing to try anything in life now, especially since I came here. I took that leap of faith, and um, the only way you live life is if you take chances in life, and you just do it. And I'm glad I just did it. I'm happy, and I'm happier than I've ever been in the friendships that I've made here and through YouTube are second to none. Uh, Electro Edit says, by the way, I'm only 18. Well, then that means you're an adult. Well, at least in the US, they say once you turn 18, you're an adult. So welcome to my channel, Electro Edits. I mean, you wanna if you wanna share your name, go ahead. I don't know if you're a Filipina or a Filipino or a Filipina, but either way, it doesn't matter. Welcome, and I'm glad you're here. It's nice to meet people. You said, Uncle, you're so nice. You deserve a sub. Well, I appreciate it. I always say to people, I'm not sure what I deserve in life. Um, that's why I guess I just try to live it. And what comes my way is great. And I give all the glory to God all the time, because in my opinion, for me, without him, I'm nothing. So, and without you guys, I'm nothing. So, YouTube channels don't really do a whole heck of a lot if you don't have people which subscribe. And then once you're a subscriber, Electro Edits, you become a friend. You're not a subscriber, you're a friend. And the more frequently we see you in live streams or commenting on videos and whatnot, I get to know you better. So, and you get to know me better. Um, that's why live streams are so much fun. What you see is what you get from me, and it's the best. I guess at first, for some people, it might be intimidated on YouTube, but I just forget the fact that I'm on YouTube and I just simply be myself. Um, it's how I am when I'm in public, especially here. I feel like so rejuvenated with energy living here in the Philippines. It's like um, I feel like I'm finally living the life that I've always wanted to live. So appreciate the subscription, my friend Electro Edits. Welcome. Wolfgang says I was dreaming of living in Southeast Asia since I was 14. Now I came true. Love it. That's great. Like I've always had a dream once I was a young, 14, maybe even younger. I became obsessed with the ocean and the beach and warm weather. And again, growing up in Pennsylvania and dealing with four seasons, and kind of, I got a taste of everything. I can handle any weather that's thrown at me, the hottest, the hot, at least from what I experienced in the United States. The hottest, the hot, and the coldest, the cold, and uh, ton of rain, ton of snow, deeper than you could ever imagine. But summer was the shortest time of the season of the year, and uh, my most exciting time of the year growing up in Pennsylvania. And when it came to like spring fever and then the sun and the warm, the shorts, I got so excited and fired up. I'm an outdoor guy, but I did outdoor stuff in the cold. I just preferred the sunshine. And that's why I eventually made it to Florida after many vacations over the years, with family vacations with my parents. And as I got older, ventured off, I was usually Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, or further south. Started visiting. I went in the Dominican Republic, the Caribbean. I started going all over the place. And then that's when I kind of, as I got older, and I realized I need to be somewhere where it's warm all the time and just have something like this, just to go for a walk. I'm so into in my opinion, we're connected to the earth. God created all this. There's an energy between us, plants, living things in the earth and the ocean. And I'm passionate about it. I walk everywhere and simply love living life, especially here. Again, happiest I've ever been. Whoop. But that's a great Wolfgang. Like, I've had dreams too, and I'm glad yours came true. We're living the dream. The other day I said, "Oh, I'm living the life." And a friend of mine on his other channel, Michael White, says, "No, Michael, you're living the dream." And I was like, that's so true. So true. Electrolyte says, "Did you know that Cube got hit by the most dangerous typhoon? I think it's Typhoon Tino, and hundreds of people died, I think." Yeah, yeah, I've seen a lot of destruction that caused, and that's very unfortunate. And I those people are in my heart. That's why my faith has become more important to me each and every day. Um, I know it's cliche when you hear that saying, live each day as if it's your last. Well, you should, because at any moment it can be taken from you. Um, you just never know. I mean, even here, experiencing earthquakes and obviously typhoons, but you know, for a while there, we were having so many freaking earthquakes. It was almost like, when are they going to end? Like it was almost like it was becoming the norm. And I never, with my girlfriend here, Electra Edit, she's a Filipina. She experienced. She's a province girl, Morena, but she's experienced earthquakes before, but never in a high-rise building. That's a completely different experience. To experiencing that, and there's a friend of mine just stopped and waved to me, honking the horn. I always, like I said, and that's not in Jim Getty. I meet so many people here, and they don't forget you. And then you run into them again, and you go have a cup of coffee with them or something like that. Uh, I gush. I could completely gush when talking about my experiences here in the Philippines. Uh, but yeah, Electroedit says 1 day in Thailand, 1 year in Thailand. So is that when you were there for what? Oh, so you're a bro, you're a brother. So that's good, Electro Edits. That's good. Um, and Dad, I know where the heck, Dad, I saw you, and my apologies. I don't know how the heck I bounced up, but Dad, welcome. Thank you for being here. My apologies. That sounded good. A lot of horn honking, but I'm safe here. Like, a lot of people just come here, park their car, and kind of just take it all in and just simply look at the ocean. Um, got fishing buddies out there, but yeah, it's always cool here. Like I said, I walk everywhere, obviously, but when I chill and take a break or get a cup of coffee, I choose to be out here looking at this, breathing in, smelling the salt water coming off the ocean. Uh, yeah, this is. Simple, pure happiness for me. But hello, debt. My apologies for missing you. How are you doing? Oh, the dead answer down here. Yeah, Tino trashed the blue. Yeah, it certainly did. That would be, yeah, an understatement. I mean, it was like Cebu got hit with that earthquake that rocked us, and the aftershock rocked us down in McColid when I was living in McColid, drawing a blank there. And that's the first time Che and I ever both experienced being in a building just like drawing, like shaking from side to side. She was really panicking. I honestly didn't have time to panic. I was more interested in calming her down. So I guess if I was buying myself, it might have been a different story. But Electro Edits, you're a man. Yes, you are. 18 years old is when you're officially a man. That's for sure. Uh, Wolfgang says out electric, electro. I don't mind that much. LB don't affect me. Yeah, it doesn't affect me either. I just think there's good people everywhere. Electro says, sorry, Uncle Wolfgang. It's a meme. Sorry. You don't need to apologize. No need to apologize. See, Wolfgang even says, no problem. Electro says, thank you. And Cebu. Oh, you got a girlfriend. Oh, tell me more, Uncle. Well, you know what? I can tell you a lot, but you're probably going to find more a lot in my videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I have a Filipina girlfriend. We've been together since November 8th of last year, and she's amazing, has a wonderful heart, very, very good person. She's a strong girl, too, strong Filipina. These girls are brought up in the province. They're tough. Um, I would say she looks like a swimmer. Like she's kind of got like the back of like a professional swimmer. Almost kind of goes to a little bit of a V, skinny waist, and goes up. Like she's got kind of not big, broad shoulders, but for a girl her size, and Filipinas are so tiny. Um, she said that was from years of kid carrying big buckets or containers of water when they had to go get the water to dump it, or I guess putting it in the big barrel for when they did their just have water for their bath or whatever else. But yeah, they're hardworking girls. They're tough. I respect them for that. But yeah, she's a province girl, a Morena. Um, wait, I can tell you a dare that says no worries. Wolfgang is electric to whom? I don't know. I'm waiting now. I'm hoping more people show up. It's like I got my new friend Electro Edits, and we got Det and Wolfgang. David might be here, but I know he's busy. That guy, he's leaving. He's coming soon. I don't know where everybody else is at. I didn't think it was too late or too early. I guess. Let me think. Pennsylvania. I guess it's like 12 a.m., 12:17 a.m., and I guess California would be 9:12 p.m. We'll see what happens. Electro says, Uncle, can I tell you a dare? Go ahead. You can tell me a dare. You can say anything you want, as long as it's, respectful to everybody else. But sure, you've been respectful. So, dare to try. See, I just heard this. Hollow, hollow, or halo, halo. What is that again? Because I don't think I've ever had it. So you're gonna have to tell me exactly what it is. But don't dare me on Balut. I'm not gonna, because I won't take that dare on Balut. No way. Uh, yeah, I just don't have it in me to try Balut, and I know a lot of people say drink alcohol. Well, I'm here to tell you, Electro Addicts, I don't drink alcohol. So, oh, David says I'm here, 9:17. All right, so I'm good on the time thing. Figured it was something like that. And I get it. Just you being here, David, even if you're just listening, that's great. I appreciate you being here. Um, like I said, my live streams, I don't really usually have a consistent time. They're kind of hit and miss. Um, but I felt like it was getting a little later, but yeah, it's just like, how the clouds blow through. See, now you got the blue and you see CP4. And yeah, it's just nice through here. Like I said, a lot of people park their cars and they just come here just to relax, breathe in the air. I mean, it's like, and then you got your little bit of traffic rolling through here up and down, but nothing major. It's kind of wild that it's even what is it, Tuesday here. But it's just peaceful and so relaxing. Again, I just put my leg up. Well, you can't see it this way, but I just stand here and just let the breeze blow right in my face. I mean, if this is the best thing I do today, well, this best thing was awesome. I mean, these little things make me excited. That says, "Hey, Green Ranger David." Yeah, I'm beginning to get the green thing. I'm assuming, like David, you maybe were like a green beret or something like that, and maybe that's why you like the green. First, I was thinking, well, maybe the green represents if someone makes him angry, he turns into green like the Hulk. I wasn't sure. That says, okay, Green David Ranger David. So maybe that's it. Wolfgang. It's a dessert with ice cream, fruit, and jelly on top. Now I know I've heard of that. I have not had that. And I'm assuming I can get that in Dumagetti. And maybe that's what I need to tell my girlfriend, Che. That's her name, Electro Edits. Her name is Che. I'm going to tell her I don't eat a lot of sweets. I kind of watch, when it comes to sugar. I'm more of a natural sweetener guy, but having it once and as much as I walk, I don't think it's going to hurt me all that much. No sooner I probably eat it, it's going to burn up anyway. But I'll check it out. That's a good dare. At least you didn't ask me to try balut. Balut is mm, not good. Not good for me. I just looked at it and I was not interested. Was not interested. That says it's morphin time. What is morphin time? That why am I being so stupid right now? Well, first I looked at it like morphine, but I don't think morphine spelled like that. Uh Wolfgang said never had, but I would like it. Sure. Yeah, I want to try it now. Electro Edit says it's like an ice cream, like dessert. All right. I'm gonna mention it to my Filipina and I look at it, it looks like the video game called Halo, Halo, Halo. Maybe it's Halo, Halo, or something like that. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. But all right, I'm gonna try it. Remember to tell Che, and then I'll get back with you when I see you in a live stream again, Electro Edits. Um, and I'll let you know how that turned out. So if you subscribe to me and you turn on your notifications, you'll see when I go live. So then, but like I said, I won't talk about it until I see you. Being that you're the one that dared me, challenged me to try this dessert, which is much better than balut. Wolfgang says that Electro, don't you like it? The hello hello, and he says, "Yep." Wolfgang says, "Kind balut, no way." That's where I'm at. No way. I don't care. I mean, it would take a lot for me to try balut. Let's just say that it would take a lot. Uh Electroedit says it's perfect when it's summer. Well, I guess that means it's perfect Electroedits all year round here because it's like summer in the Philippines all the time. Miami, pretty close to like summer for the most part, but even there on occasion, these cold fronts in the winter can push way down south pretty far. Maybe not to the tip of Miami. Miami's probably the only place that can actually survive a cold front. I don't know the history with Miami and cold fronts, but I know when I was living an hour and a half north in Palm City, Stewart, Florida, up in that area, we had some cold weather pushed down through there. Oh wait, Wolfgang says, hello, hello, me and mix it. Electretta says, yeah. Marina Philippines says, just woke up from a long nap. Second, good morning. Well, good morning for a second time, Ray. Yeah, I'm making my presence felt, making my appearance here. I did change it up a little bit, Ray. I'm like right outside my apartment down the street. And my apartment building is that one that's like where the pole is, and it's like grayish, whitish building with like aqua green windows. But yeah, and obviously you can see, pretty sure that's Seville. And then you got Siki Horror over here. They're building a boulevard boardwalk here. That's in very early stages of construction. Coffee shop here, Coffee Bean, and we were talking about coffee earlier, Ray, how you can't probably walk. Well, I can't walk very far, and I go after walk past coffee shop after coffee shop, and you wonder how they all stay in business. But welcome, Ray. Thank you for being a part of Something Simple live stream. David says, yes, I'm a retired Army Green Beret. Now that makes complete sense. Now I get the whole green thing, David. Thank you for explaining that to me. Makes complete sense. And much respect to you. Anybody who knows me, all service members, military people, they're my heroes. I have the utmost respect for all military. I've never been in the military. A lot of people think I resemble somebody in the military, and that's great. But yeah, I have the utmost respect uh, the United States military or any but military for that matter, all over the world. Those guys put their lives on the line, men and women, for our safety. Yeah. Ray says, "Hey, sassy daddy." LOL. Deck says, "Hi, Rockstar Ray." David says, "Hi, Ray. Just getting up." Ray says, "What it do, Deck?" Ray says, "Early to bed and early to rise." I see you, David. Debt balloons is you're educating me now. It's morphin time is a famous catchphrase from the Power Rangers. I don't even know if I've ever watched the Power Rangers. I think if I ever watched Power Rangers, maybe it was when I was a kid or something like that. Um, Honestly, I don't remember. Like I remember Power Rangers. Wasn't there a cartoon or something? Or maybe it was real people, but it was just kind of like, they didn't have much technology when it came to making movies. I remember it, but I remember very little, and I apologize for that. Uh, One of my favorite shows growing up as a kid, watching Sunday mornings for cartoons, was probably Land of the Lost. That was one of my. Obviously, that wasn't a cartoon; it was real people. But yeah, the Land of the Lost was one of my favorite shows growing up as a kid. Watching, at least I remember Saturday mornings. I know a lot of those shows ended up maybe playing on other days as well, but my Saturday show was Land of the Lost. I like some cartoons, but I think I was more into the realistic stuff than cartoons. I'm trying to remember what cartoons did I watch? Hmm. I think I watched He-Man and stuff like that. Cartoon wise, I don't remember. I watched a lot of TV shows. Heck, I even remember watching one of my favorite shows as a kid was Gunsmoke. I don't know if you guys remember Gunsmoke, but I love that show. I love the Brady Bunch. I love the Little Rascals. I love um, what's another show, Buffy and something. But a lot of those like weren't cartoons. I was more interested in like real people shows compared to cartoons, which is kind of interesting as a kid. Oh yeah, uh, Ray says they can entertain each other. I think Power Rangers were out after our time. My boys watched it. Okay. David says, so Sassy is my dog and she's flying there with me. That's right. I remember Ray mentioning you're bringing your dog. And now the Sassy name, I do remember that now after he mentioned it. And that's pretty cool. You're bringing your dog. I mean, dog's man's best friend. That's what they say. Ray says Tom and Jerry was my cartoon. Yeah. See, I have to admit, I did watch Tom and Jerry as a cartoon. Kind of a little bit of the Smurfs, but not too much. I'm trying to remember cartoons. I mean, I was more into the TV shows. Like I love Knight Rider with that car. What was a? Pontiac Firebird or something that he used in that movie, like Knight Rider. I like the original Hulk TV series. Um, I love the Bionic Man with what's his name? His name escapes me, but I even had the Bionic Man doll when I was a kid. Um, he had the Bionic Man and he had the Bionic Woman, and she actually had the Bionic dog with her. Yeah, I was more into like the TV shows with real people, as I can remember a lot more of those than I can cartoons, which is interesting. Electro Edit says my favorite is SpongeBob. His laugh is iconic. Yeah, see, SpongeBob was way past my time. Um, I am aware of it, but I don't know much about it. And I think everybody, depending on what your time period is, your age, and when you're alive, you kind of have bias towards certain cartoons and maybe would say, oh, well, they made cartoons in my day. They were so much better and stuff like that. Um, yeah, they don't, or you hear people say, oh, they don't make cartoons like they used to. Um, yeah. So I'm biased towards my generation there, Electro Edit, as you should be biased towards yours. Um, Dad says Looney Tunes is my favorite. Yeah, see, I like those too. I have to admit, but for whatever reason, I just think I watched the Land of the Lost, Brady Bunch, Little House on the Prairie, The Waltons. Like I was watching all those shows. I mean, I remember my mother liked a lot of those shows too, so that's probably why maybe I didn't have much of a choice when I was watching some of those shows because she controlled the TV. She was the boss of the TV. So that's probably why I watched a lot of other shows. Um, David says, oh wait, okay. Dad said Looney Tunes is my favorite. But hey, yeah, Electro Edit, SpongeBob's fine. My all my sisters, kids, and everybody, they all watch SpongeBob. There's another one they like too, other than SpongeBob, and I can't remember it. Um, it'll hit me. Uh, Ray says Sassy and Lynn can entertain each other, but I'm more of a dog person than she is. David said, yes, I like Tom and Jerry and Roadrunner. Yeah, I remember Roadrunner too. Dad says I'm a Saturday morning cartoon kid, which is fine. I can't remember the last time I actually watched cartoons. It's been a long time for me. I don't watch much TV here in the Philippines at all. Rarely do I watch anything. Too busy. I'm more interested in other stuff, probably. Ray says, oh wait, Electroedit says you kind of broke my heart right there. That never mind. I'm not even going to say it. You can say it. I don't try to break your heart. I mean, I hope I don't break your heart. I mean, but yeah, SpongeBob, my nieces and nephews, they're actually older than you. They were all big SpongeBob fanatics and definitely video game fanatics, much more than me. Not that I don't play video games, but I think that was something that I would do more in the United States because I had to deal with winter and snow. Sorry about that. I didn't have, there's just more, there's just more for me to do here, Electro Edit. So yeah, I have Apple TV on my phone. I watch something occasionally, but uh, I don't even sometimes. The only reason I have Apple TV is because it's part of my subscription for my Apple iTunes. I get free music. I can get whatever I want, so that's why I have it. It's kind of like a bundle package deal. Ray says, "Greatest American Hero." Watch that. Muppet Show, yes. Shields and Yarnell. That does not hit me. They were like a mean variety act. Not sure I remember Fields and Yarnell. Um, I remember I was obsessed with that show. Yeah, I was obsessed with Land of the Lost. I was also obsessed with is that one show again? It wasn't a cartoon, but it was a Saturday morning show. It was like Sig, Man, the Sea Monster, and Johnny and Scott, our friends. something like that. But it's some, I don't know, dude in like a suit that looked like a seaweed sea monster. But for whatever reason, I watched it. I can remember that too. Yeah, I think I watched a lot of stuff my mom and dad or my mom watched. Electro Edit said, "Yeah, Shields and Yarnell never showed in the Philippines." Electro Edit says, "Yeah." Debt says, "I remember watching yeah, Magnum PI, Debt. Yes, that was one I watched." Wolfgang says, "I love Bewitched." Even yes, I watched Bewitched. I love Genie or whatever like that. I watched that. Wow, this is bringing back a lot of TV show memories. Electro Edit says, "Uncle, if you're reading this, I left because my face I have to study." Okay, hey, don't let me interfere with your studying. Your studies take precedence and priority over me. But again, thank you for being here, Electro Edits. Louie's here. Hey, Mike. Hey, Louie. How's things going, my friend? I'm glad some more people are starting to show up. I didn't know if I just, I don't know, picked a bad time to do a live stream, but I appreciate you being here. I'm kind of in like a different spot, trying to change it up on you. But we got some blue skies coming now, so it's getting a little nice. I like the backdrop to be nice for you guys. More to look at than just me. But I'm like I said, people are like, what am I looking at? I'm just right here along the street. Motorbike, truck, coffee shop, right down the road from my apartment. Not very far at all. But welcome, Louie. What's going on? Ray says yes, Bewitched with the second stick. Yeah, I think his name is Dick Yorker. Yeah. I even watch, I like Eight is Enough. I like I said, I think a lot of these shows now that I think about it is because my mom. She basically controlled the TV, so I think it was kind of like whatever she watched, we all had to watch, especially later in the evening. I mean, the kids kind of got priority in the morning, but I think that's why I watch so many of those shows because of them. That says Knight Rider, yes. Airwolf, yes. A Team, yes. MacGyver. MacGyver was cool as all can be, man. That guy could make a freaking rocket launcher out of a freaking roll of the cardboard tube from toilet paper or paper towel roll. MacGyver was awesome. I love that show. Very good. I forgot about that one. Thrive in Philippine expat. Hey, Michael White is here, everybody. Hi, Michael. Hello. My restriction is over. Can live again. Very good. So I heard bits and pieces, watched your short talking about it. So I guess originally you were thinking it was going to be 14 days or something like that, but that's good that your restriction is over. Kind of crazy about that stuff, but it is what it is. That says Miami Vice. That's another one I like. I even like the Vice movies that came out later with the different actors. Yeah, I was a big Miami Vice fan. Ray says awesome, Michael White. Yes, that's good. Hello, Michael White. Thank you for being here. Glad everything worked out. So Michael says only a 24-hour restriction. I'm not sure if they gave me a strike or not. I'm just glad you're back. And honestly, if I were ever to get a strike, I don't know where I would even look for it, or unless they send you an email or something showing up. But I'm glad. Hey, live and learn. It's part of life. Um, Could have been worse, I guess. So I'm glad you can, because I knew you were telling people to sub to your other channel, thinking maybe this channel was gonna hold you back. But I guess all things straight ahead with Thriving Philippine Expat channel, Michael. I guess you're good. And David says hi, Michael. Thriving says hi. Ray says the first Darren was Dick Sargent. Yeah, they did. You're right. They did change him. That's why I remember Bewitched and then Genie or my whatever Genie. I love Genie or something like that. Um, I even like Different Strokes too. That was a favorite show I like. What you talking about, Willis? I like Arnold Coleman. Yeah, that was a show. Silver Spoons. with blonde haired kid, Ricky Schroeder. I love Silver Spoons. Wow, we're just going down memory lane with TV shows. Wolfgang says at Thrive, I guess it depends on your comments. Thriving says, please like and subscribe, everyone. Yeah, I appreciate the help there, Thriving. Um, Kind of slow, I guess, have a few people. Sometimes it's hit or miss though with live streams, and I just pick random times. I don't really, set a schedule. Maybe someday I could do that, but I think I just pick whenever I feel like I'm in the mood, take a break from walking, had my caffeine injection, fires me up too. Not to mention I'm fired up every morning. I wake up here in the Philippines anyway and change my location up a little bit. I'm not at the boulevard. I'm closer to my new apartment, which at some point I'm gonna get more specific about, do a video on it, kind of the surrounding area here. Gotta do videos. Like Rain always said, videos are the meat of your channel. And once I start doing, Say and I are going to CQ Horror very soon, now that we have an apartment. So many places to visit there. So we'll be doing a lot of day trips there in the morning, coming back in the evening, and going again a couple days later. Lots of places to hit in CQ Horror, and hopefully that entertains everybody. Thriving, Michael says hi, David. Louis said, I drank on Saturday. My buddy got a Jägermeister bottle. The Sunday morning hangover was not worth it. Yeah, I don't miss hangovers, and it's been so long, I don't even remember. Unless you're somebody like Ray who just doesn't get hangovers, he's the exception. Um, I don't know many people like Ray, to be honest with you. I've never seen somebody drink as much as him and not have any negative side effects whatsoever, at least not hangover related. Uh, Michael says, Wolfgang, they saw my son's play toy. Yeah. Which when I was watching that, Michael, and basically it just went and then it showed the little message on there. It was whatever stopped due to violation or something like that. I don't know what it was, and I was certainly wasn't thinking that. And then Shay, my girlfriend, because she was watching it with me, and then she's like, maybe it had something to do with because your son had his shirt off. I'm like, that's ridiculous. I said, imagine if someone's doing a live stream or you make a video at a swimming pool or something like that. Everybody has their shirt off. I mean, I never even thought of the other thing. I don't even want to mention it, but I didn't even think of that. That's all I thought. I was like, okay, maybe Jay's right, but I thought that was ridiculous because I was like, my God. Everybody might as well just wear long sleeve shirt and long pants when they go swimming. Can't even wear a shirt. But I'm just glad everything's all right. Michael says, oh, okay, they do notify you through email. Wolfgang says, anyone know Baba Black Sheep Boynton? Now, you know what? That sounds familiar. The fact that I remember that, obviously I remember it from somewhere. Martin's here. Hey, Martin, how are you doing today, my friend? Welcome. It says hello to me, Michael. David says, Michael, did you get the email I sent you? I'm assuming the Michael you're talking about is something simple, Michael Walker. You gave me the name of Michael Walker and kind of reminds me of JJ Walker from Good Times. Speaking of other shows, I love Good Times. That show made me laugh. Good Times. I love Sanford and Son too. Sanford and Son was hilarious. Sorry, back to David. I will have to check. I checked my email early this morning and just to see if I always check my email early in the morning. So you might have sent it after I checked, but I'm definitely going to check my email, David. So I appreciate it. Michael says hi to Manila. That would be Michael White. Um, I don't know if we gave Michael White a nickname. I haven't given him one yet, but all the Michaels. But David came up with Michael Walker for me because I walk a lot. Um, Martin says, "Hey, Mike, having withdrawals yet?" From his, I guess, the YouTube. Uh, See, maybe he was talking. He could have been talking to Michael White too, because I emailed David recently as well. So who knows? It's funny. Um, David says the toy has to have a bright orange tip on the end for it to be okay for YouTube. Well, I didn't know that, and I'm glad. I guess if the orange tip would be like what, the little Nerf dart orange tip, or do they actually have, you know what, with orange tips on them? I didn't know that, but I haven't no reason to buy one of those for myself. Martin says, love that show back in the 70s. Yep. So many shows too. I keep thinking of more and more. Like I said, JJ Walker, Dynamite. It's like good times. Ah, love that show. Plus, it went on for years, and you got to see them, grow up and get older. I love shows that don't, um, I guess, get canceled out. It's like the Brady Bunch was like that. It's another show I like watching. Um, the Jeffersons, Archie Bunker. Oh, there's so many. And then they kind of merged together, doing shows together, like the Jeffersons was hilarious. Michael White says they did not mention orange tip, said none could be displayed, guessing by how fast they caught me that I was recorded. Wow. That's crazy. David says, hi, Manila, which is Martin. Martin says, Mike, I'll send you the clip if you want. Uh, Martin says, hey, Dave, Ray, etc. and all. Wolfgang says, it was a fighter squadron in the Pacific with Ford, Corsair planes. The, I don't remember. Oh, about Baba Black Sheep, Boynton. Yeah, I can't say I'm familiar with that, Wolfgang, but again, sometimes all I have to do is see something and it shakes my head and I'm like, ah, I remember that. 'Cause I remember a lot of stuff from my childhood. I'm kind of weird like that. Like I even remember all the insignificant things. I got to remind my parents. Like I remember stuff from my childhood that they, when I was so young that they don't even remember, and they were present. It's like they're living their memories through my head. It's kind of funny. Um, Michael White says, haha, Manila know about a lot down and made lots of shorts and videos. Martin says, we're poor little lambs who have lost our way. And Martin said, "Bah, that's true. David, message retracted. Electro Edit says he's back. Welcome back, Electro Edits. Oh, so you didn't study because there's nothing to study. Well, at least you checked and took care of that. Because the last thing I want to be is responsible for you not taking care of your schoolwork. Um, all that stuff, you got to take care of that first. Me, my live streams, or anybody else, we're all secondary. Your future is much more important than us. Not that you can't learn some things from us, but um, yeah, take care of school. Martin says, good times, Sanford and Son. TV was awesome. Yeah, I love that. I mean, if I can watch a show and just simply laugh and laugh and laugh, and kind of like some of Ray's live streams where you feel like you're doing an abs of steel workout from laughing so hard, that's entertaining. I Laughing is healthy and good. I love laughing. Yeah, even if we only had three channels. Yeah, I remember those days. You didn't have to. Well, we didn't even click through many. You obviously turn the knob. And then shortly after that, I remember we got some huge, gigantic antenna on the roof that you had some sort of mechanism that you turn this dial. Oh, yeah, it was all goofy. Rabbit ear thing on, like I said, boy, have times changed. But, even back then when we had lack of technology, those days were fun. They were awesome. memories we'll never forget. Um, that's the memories I have of when I think growing up as a kid and our timeline was great, where I think things have changed so much. Um, Michael Thriven says, I believe it, Manila. Got to run to the school to get all the elementary kids' clothes and shoe sizes to buy for Christmas, which is great. I remember you talking about that, how you're buying Christmas gifts. And I didn't know what they were for all the neighborhood kids or whatever. That's really awesome, Michael. God bless you for that and your heart. And yeah, it's a good thing. I truly appreciate and respect people like yourself 'cause I'm like that myself too. Now, I haven't gone to the extent of buying clothes and stuff like that, but I definitely donate and give food. Um, Chat later, guys. Thanks. See you, Michael White. Thank you for stopping in. Martin says, "See ya." Wolfgang says, "All fine, Mike." Manila says, "That was the theme song from Black Sheep." Louis says, "Same here. I remember a lot of useless things from my childhood. In fifth grade, my best friend told me that his sister was allergic to papaya fruit. Her lips would turn red. We went to university together, and I brought it up that I remember his sister's allergy, and he said that I have a photographic memory. Yeah, like, I get it. When most people, they usually remember the most exciting times in their life, the most traumatic times in their life. I actually remember completely like insignificant times in my childhood, my parents' life, my mother's life, even my brother. Yeah, I have a very, 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 very good memory, and I connect that being health related. People don't always understand eating healthy. You're feeding your brain, and if your brain goes, you're up a creek without a paddle. Uh, if you're like I say, you have two brains. You have this one and your digestive brain. One of them's not working right, you're gonna have a lot of problems. So, you don't just have one brain, the one in your head. You have your gut as a brain too, and it's very finicky and easily irritated and can cause a lot of problems. That'll be my little health tidbit for the day. Um, so yeah, I'm glad my brain is functioning, I'd say very well at this point in my life. Um, Wolfgang says, yeah, it was a great time to grow up. I was playing in the sandbox with the neighbor boy. Later, he became boss of the local brewery. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in the sandbox. That's when I had my Tonka toys, Tonka trucks, and backhoes and bulldozers when they were made out of metal. That's when toys were cool. They started creating all this garbage and plastic. And then they tried to say, oh, it's safer and this and that. That stuff was junk. We had real metal toys, you know, it was just much better. And those, if anybody has their hands on old Tonka trucks and like stuff that are made out of metal from back in the day and good shape, those things are worth a lot of money. I mean, it's like anything though, everything's only worth as much as somebody's willing to pay for it. But yeah, I spent a lot of time in the sandbox with those trucks with my no, I didn't play with Barbie dolls. I had a GI Joe doll, but it was the size of a Barbie doll, not like those really tiny things that they came out with later that were so small. Mine was like a normal size GI Joe doll with the tags on it, and all the weapons and the accessories and the clothes. I played with that out in the sandbox too. I had a blast with that stuff. Yes, Wolfgang. Also, the Matchbox cars. I have a lot of those. Some of those have value. I still have some of those collector's items in boxes from, wow, 40 to 50 years ago. It's crazy when you have it, you don't think about saving it for someday to have a value. But yeah, that. Played a lot of football as a kid. We'd go in the backyards. We played tackle though. I don't know at what point two-hand touch came around. I think I was much older. I mean, I was 5, 6 years old playing tackle football with the big kids because I wanted to play. But the one advantage I had that prevented me from getting tackled so much, I was fast. So even though I was small, man, it was tough for them to catch me and put a pounding on me. But they did on occasion, but it's all right. I didn't mind getting pounded. It made me tough, you know. I like that time period was just so different. Um, I definitely like playing with the older kids, the big boys. Sometimes, you know, at first they're like, "Ah, you can't play. You're too small. You'll get hurt or whatever." And then finally, I don't know how I did, but I included myself and I probably challenged them. I probably said, "You can't catch me" or something like that. So yeah, I basically forced them to let me to play by saying that they couldn't either catch me to tackle me, something to that effect. But the Wolfgang says, "Bid you join the Pathfinder." I don't know if that was a typo or I'm just not following that comment. Fid, F-I-D, you join the Pathfinder. My apologies, Wolfgang. I think a lot of people have dropped off the live. Oh, yeah, but what's the beginning, Wolfgang? I see Pathfinders, but what's FID? FID, you join the Pathfinders. Oh, did you find the Pathfinders? Typo. I don't know why Pathfinders, Pathfinder. I'm trying to think. Hmm. I'm drawing a blank and I completely apologize. Wolfgang, did you find the Pathfinders? Yes, Matchbox, and I have old train set too. Is Pathfinder a toy? Because I should know what that is. I've heard Pathfinders before, but I'm not sure. Trains, I have I have definitely have old heavy, what's the brand of the train set I have? Very common with Tyco. It was all metal, from a kid. My father bought it. They used to set it up for Christmas. We had a platform and then we put the metal train rails along the outside platform. The Christmas tree was in the middle. Ray's back. I guess he said he had to find something to eat, waiting for my shrimp pasta order at Pizza Hut. I had breakfast. I had 3 eggs scrambled and I had an Angus beef burger patty from Bellcrest, which is exported, which is actually very good. I got that. That was my breakfast. Wolfgang says, no, it's a group who come together to explore the nature and help other people. I have not. I have not found or encountered that the Pathfinders. I mean, I love exploring nature and I certainly enjoy helping others. I mean, I think that's a big part of my reason that drew me here outside of nature. And then after being here, that's one of those things I haven't talked about much, but it's like, let's just say, without getting too specific, I've had conversations with Che and a few other people that there's something I'd like to do in the future as a way to help random struggling children or adults or family members here in the Philippines. So uh, it's something I'm working on, and I guess you could say it's kind of private, although I'm talking about it now. So I guess it doesn't make it so private, but it's just something I want to do. Um, I feel that that's in my heart. There's just something that I want to do to help less fortunate people. And we'll see what happens. But I know I'm gonna do it. Well, I kind of already have, but at a much, I guess, bigger level, I guess is what I like to do. All right. Wolfgang says, gotta go, hang up my laundry, be right back. All right, Wolfgang, appreciate you being here. If I'm still alive and you come back, great. If not, it's no worries, my friend. I just appreciate every time when any of you guys come here. So thank you very much, Wolfgang. Hang up your laundry. Take care of it. I don't know. Hmm. Louis, did I have a typing class in high school? Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was high school. Trying to think if it started in junior high or was it in high school. But yeah, I remember doing it. We had to be able to type. One of the main things we had to be able to do is we had to be able to type so much. I don't know how many words or something within a certain amount of time. I remember getting tested on that. So yeah, it's wild. I could talk about a typewriter though, um, typing up papers for school before computers came around, and then printing out what you type. Yep, those were the days, Louis. Amy, Amy is here. Navy woman, Amy. I'm pretty sure I have that right this time. Amy. I host Michael in chat. How's everyone here? We're all great. We were waiting on you. We were waiting for you to show up. Amy, Navy woman. No, I'm just kidding. Um, just hanging out, nothing special. Kind of moved my location a little bit further down near my apartment, but still with a beautiful background. I mean, little cloud cover, no rain this morning. Not that I have ran into. Looked like it was gonna rain, but now we got some blue skies opening up with the dark skies. Beautiful, 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 as it always is. Rain or shine, I'm happy here in the Philippines. Jet says, I remember asking my mom to buy me those GI Joe figures. It was 75 pesos back then. That price is kind of expensive. Yeah, I always get a yelling before she buys it for me. Huh. Yeah, I GI Joe. Well, I don't know if you mean the actual smaller figures or like the big actual Barbie doll size GI Joe. I had the big, more doll size GI Joe, and when I was little, younger, and then when I got older, they started making all the mini, smaller stuff. Kind of like around Star Wars stuff was really big, and I was a big fan of Star Wars too. Um, I definitely like the first three movies better than the last three because they started getting too involved with digital animation and stuff like that. It wasn't real people, and I didn't like it. I thought it took away from the authenticity of the movie. I like real stunt people. I like just more realistic. Now, from the times they made the second three movies in Star Wars, the technology obviously then, even though it was more fake, it's much better now and much more realistic. But I always preferred the first three Star Wars movies. Um, Wolfgang says, I'm back 20 minutes more. That's funny. Just say, Darn, you're quick. I was gonna say we might have to hire you to hang our laundry. Uh Amy says, where's your baby girl? Why are you alone, sir? She was actually doing some things with the apartment. Then the water delivery guy was coming when I was out walking. And then the owner was also coming by to bring some other stuff that we requested for the apartment because a furnished apartment, when you get a furnished apartment, they should have everything and anything. We shouldn't have to purchase one thing. That's the whole idea of a fully furnished apartment. So she had requested some, we both requested some things that we needed. And then she was going to be coming by. on top of the water being delivered. So she was basically there waiting on it. And then I do my walk in, and then we'll probably do a live stream later this evening, maybe. Um, she doesn't like to do them as much as me. She's okay, but like, uh, I think I'm more fired up to do them than she is. But I think we talked about doing one later this evening. So Che will be around. So Amy, if you're around, you'll see Che. I know everybody likes to see Che too. They're probably more interested in seeing her than me, which I get it. That says now earning adult money and buying stupid dumb things. Um, I can honestly say, debt, that I was buying a lot of dumb things when I lived in the US. I really saw all the dumb things I bought when I moved out of my house, and I had to clean up through boxes and stuff. And I'm like, what in the world was I thinking? Or stuff that I held on to that doesn't have absolutely no monetary value whatsoever. Now, I did have some things that do have monetary value, but a lot of it was simply junk. A lot of junk. All the clothes I had is kind of makes me feel a little disgusted with myself when I think about. I mean, yes, I live in four seasons, and you need different layered types of clothing for four seasons. So of course you're gonna have more, but I had excessive clothes. I had a serious problem with uh, earning money and spending it, and uh, some stuff I'd wear it once, and it hang in the closet. I mean, tons of shoes. Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me ill to think that I accumulated so much stuff, and now I feel so much better because I can care. I only need few select things, and I'm good. I'm good. I'm definitely less materialistic living here than what I was living in the US. That's for darn sure. Now I gotta hook up my power bank just to protect myself. Now it's showing LTE. I'm surprised. I hope I don't lose the signal because it's the first time it's showing LTE, and before it was 5G. We shall see. Martin says, gotta have the kung fu grip. Yep. Make sure I'm not losing anybody. I don't know why it keeps flipping between 5G and LTE, because I always think LTE is not as good as 5G, but that's what happened to me earlier when I went to start it and I lost everybody. So I'm not going to be surprised if I lose you again. Wolfgang says, me too. Star Wars 1 through 3 was much better. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't know. They started getting too caught up with the artificial CGI kind of digital animation stuff. I didn't really like it. Uh, Amy says, hello, Sir Ray. Laba Laba man, how are you doing? Louis says, my neighbor had a large collection of VHS movies. My favorite was Titanic. Titanic made me cry my eyes out. First time I saw Titanic, I was crying. Very, very sad. Angels Ashes. Legends of the Fall is a very good movie. Legends of the Fall, Brad Pitt. That's a very good movie. I was sad too. Saving Private Ryan was very good. Sad, hard to watch. Navy Woman Amy says, is that much money to rent an apartment in Dumagetti, sir? Well, the apartment I'm at, I'm probably spending a little more than I wanted to, but there's a very big pool outside. There's a gym included. Wi-Fi is included. I only have to pay the water and electric. Where I live, I don't know if you can see, as I'm down the road, is that whitish building above my finger with the aqua green like windows. There's three big buildings over there. It's called Marina Spatial, one of the more popular places that everybody, locals live there, foreigners live there as well. Um, I'm paying 24,000 pesos per month. That's what I'm paying. You can find less for sure, but again, um, the apartment that I was holding out for that was still under construction, it wasn't completed at the deadline that he was thinking it would be, and I couldn't wait any longer. So I basically settled for this other place, which I've lived in before, the marina. Um, but yeah, if you research and look around, and you can find places a lot less than what I'm paying, and maybe probably bigger and a lot of other things. You just have to be patient and look around. But I was in a hotel for 3 to 4 weeks, and that's 3 to 4 weeks too long. And I was definitely spending more money weekly in a hotel than what I'd basically spend in a month renting an apartment. Wolfgang says, I moved with only 2 bags, 23 kilos each. I left everything behind, gave it to friends, lots of VHS cassettes, books, Mac, and not forget the whole LP collection. LP sounds like Lincoln Park, but I could probably be wrong. LP. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Um, yes, I let go of a ton of stuff, Wolfgang, and I didn't care. It felt good to let go of all that stuff. Um, I gave away, I was trying to sell what furniture I could sell, but I still basically practically gave it away because I sold it for very much cheaper than what it was paid for. But I got plenty of years out of my stuff. I got my money's worth. I took care of it. And ultimately, what I couldn't sell, I called the Salvation Army, gave them a description of everything I had, and they sent 2 guys in a very big truck, took it all, loaded it all up, and it was off my hands into the hands of somebody else that probably needed it much more than me. So I felt good about letting go of all that stuff. I feel good about having very little here. I don't need that stuff here. I probably didn't need it in the US either, but that's how, I don't know, we're brought up. Work, 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 make a lot of money, spend it, spend it, spend it, spend it. And for me personally, my opinion, for me, like, I'm not speaking for anybody but myself. Um, all those personal things I would buy, I don't care if it's a new car, I don't care even when you buy a new iPhone or whatever, or uh, you want to just buy another shirt or more of this or more of that just to give you what? It only gave me temporary happiness. That's what happens. I was bored. So, like, you make this money, you're making good money. I need to go buy something to give myself temporary happiness because that's all it was for me. Um, I'm sure there's other people that can relate to it too, but it's all temporary happiness. And being here in the Philippines with far less, I'm happier now than I've ever been. And I don't have a desire to go to the mall and just buy any old whatever. As long as I have my shirts, like this shirt, I paid under, I think it was no more than 250 pesos for this shirt at a place called Tops and Bottoms. And it's a good, nice shirt. I don't know if it was like it's not one of the sorry, sorry shots. It's not a secondhand shirt. I've gotten some of those too. Um, but yeah, like, I just have what I need here. I have enough shirts for a week, maybe 10 days, t-shirts, because I go through them sometimes twice a day. And you want to change into a clean shirt. I have like one, two, three, maybe four different pairs of shorts, which, I don't need to have a clean pair of shorts every day. I'm not like jumping, I'm not dirty, muddy. Um, most important things I have other than my shirts and shorts are my, apologize for the noise, are my sneakers. Like, that's probably what I spend the most on, but I only buy them when I need them. I have two good pairs. When I see the one pair is getting a little worn down, then it's time for me to get another one so I have a backup, you know? Yeah, I have my AirPods, okay, but that's it. Like, I don't, and then if I save up and my budget works out right, I want to buy some things to improve my YouTube channel. Starlink Mini, the portable thing, is very important to me. I'll get that when it fits my budget. Um, but that's to help the YouTube channel. So when I go places that I can actually walk around here if I'm just here without losing my signal and having to stand in the same spot using data. So Starlink will be a worthwhile investment when the time comes. And then at some point, I want to get a second phone. And then this can be one, like that way I can use one phone for recording if I'm in a live stream and use the other phone to look at to follow the chat. Um, but yeah, I felt good letting go of everything, Wolfgang. I don't miss any of that stuff right now. Hello, Gary is here. Hi, Gary. Welcome, Gary. Nice to see you. Says, hey, Michael, did you get your coffee? I only had one coffee this morning so far. I made it at home. Now that I have a home, I made mushroom coffee and put a little milk and some honey, raw honey as my sweetener, and I was good to go. So yeah, I didn't get my double espresso latte yet. That's coming soon, shortly after this live. But I'm glad you're here. If you didn't give me a thumbs up, Gary or anybody else, please give a thumbs up. If you're here being quiet in the background, just watching and you're interested in the channel, subscribe. You might dislike it. We have a good community of people here as well. But welcome, Gary. Thank you for being here. Det says, we don't have VHS, we have Betamax. Yeah. I mean, I remember even before, well, maybe it was around the same time as VHS. Remember they were coming out with they had those big discs, looked like the little CDs, but it was a big one. I forget what they call them, but there were movies on them. My family never got one, but a friend of mine, neighbor friend, had one of those. Forget what they called them. It was a huge. It looked like a. It looked like a big. It looked like a big record, like a big album. That's what it looked like. Wolfgang says that, Dad, I remember we had VHS, Betamax, and Video 2000, but VHS won the race. Yeah, I remember getting rid of. I mean, you literally had to like, and even like I even had some like sets like Indiana Jones, the first three movies or whatever. Like uh, a lot of VHS movies that were in probably good shape, but there's just no return in value, return investment in those. Like nobody, I mean, I have a ton of Blu-ray and 4K movies at home that I was unable to move. People now you can just like, you can download everything. You don't need to have discs or anything to take up space. So I get it. I just had an addiction to buying movies and watching movies when I was living in the United States. It's funny because I could care less. I don't watch any movies really at all now. And I could care less. I'm so out of the loop of movies. Once in a while, Apple TV here and there, but I have to be absolutely have nothing else to possibly do. And even when I start watching, I get 20, 30 minutes into an episode of something on Apple TV. I don't even want to watch it anymore. Uh, Navy, Amy says, is it cheaper than renting a condo unit? Mine's like a studio. The studio that I was looking at here in the city in Dumaguete that they were still working on completing the building, that would have been 15,000 a month. Now, and fully furnished, brand new, fairly decent size kitchen, shower, heated water, device to heat your water up. Kind of like in a really good central location. Now, would that have included Wi-Fi? Probably not. Wi-Fi, decent Wi-Fi is at least 1,700 to 2,000 pesos. That's included in my 24,000 peso a month. So if you want to remove the Wi-Fi, you're down to 22. Or I'd be paying for it myself. So then you throw in the gym, which is small, but it has the things that I need. What would it cost to go to a gym? A nice gym with air conditioning. They're not cheap per year or per month. Um, Even in a gym, do I use all the equipment they have there? Not really. Um, I certainly don't use a treadmill. I walk everywhere, so I don't need that. I like doing push-ups, my own body resistance. I like using free weight dumbbells. They have that in a little gym here. So let's just say It's not a state of the art gym, but let's just say per month at the very least for a gym that size at a apartment complex. I don't know, 1,000. So that takes that down to 21,000. Then you throw in the swimming pool. Well, if I want to go swimming somewhere, you got to pay 200, 300 pesos maybe for the day to go swimming or more. I'm not sure. I've never gone swimming at like a public pool where you pay to get in it. So I'm not 100% sure, but let's just say another thousand. You're down to 20, 19, somewhere between the gym and the pool. So when you really think about it, you can find maybe a cheaper apartment, but then how much extra do you have to pay? And in Ray's situation, also here, I don't have to pay the association dues, the dues that they have to pay for like owning a unit here. I don't have to pay that. Ray does. So like, so it's kind of like a give and take. You can either have them pay for it and they charge you more, or you pay for it and then they charge you less for the overall rent, but you're still paying a lot more in return. So it's kind of almost like a wash, give or take a few things. I mean, Ray could um, give you a little more insight on that too with his situation, but um, I'm fine with renting because I don't know where I'd ever want to build to begin with, and I want to be able to come and go as I please. So I hope that helps you, Amy. I'm not sure if it does, but at least that's what I've learned from what I've seen. Ted's going back to the memory lane here. He said, "My first console is a Commodore 64." Yes, my fossil. My neighbor had a Commodore 64, and I remember the little floppy disk that you put in that thing, or at least maybe not in the keyboard, but like in a kind of drive thing. I remember playing games on that Commodore. Yeah, I never had one as a kid. I could have, but my neighbor had one, so we played on his. That's funny. Commodore 64. Holy crap. Wolfgang says LP equals Long Prairie Records. I figured it was something way back there, but the first thing when I heard LP, I thought of Lincoln Park. I was a fan of Lincoln Park, although they came along when I got older, but I did like Lincoln Park. Um, insert name, which is his name's Brian or B Lion. Hello. He says, afternoon, Michael. Welcome, inserts. Kind of nice. I'm seeing some of my regulars starting to pop in and out, which is good. Like I said, you guys all have your life um, as well. I always appreciate the sacrifices you make to just hang out with me, chatting here along the water here, and just it's either I talk with you guys or I don't know. I don't know if I've ever really talked to myself. I'd be listening to me a podcast or the audio Bible. I listen to that as well when I'm walking. That says at Wolfgang we had VHS eventually. Wolfgang says now I miss some books but the pain isn't big. Yeah, see, Wolfgang, I always tell people I don't know why I just never a big book reader. I read like short stories or I love magazine articles and stuff like that. I just could never read a book. So I'd say the best thing about technology, I do like the audiobooks. I mean, uh, right now I only have one book from my iPhone audiobook. I have it's like a storybook beginning times of like the earth was started and how everything came to be, and then obviously I have a bible version, but it's not an audio book. It's just you can play it instead of reading it, and I do like that. It's So if I ever want to really get into a book, I think audio book would work best for me. I just never was a big reader. And now I could walk and listen to a book being read to me. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. So I like that idea. Wolfgang says, "Debt, where are you at?" That says, originally from the Philippines, but currently living in Dubai, which is really cool. I mean, that would definitely be a place I'd be interested in visiting someday. That might not be anytime soon, but it was always a place of interest for me. Wolfgang says, "Oh, I'm Austrian, living in Thailand since 10 years." That's another great story. I meet so many cool, like, people, Austria, Australia, like, everybody. I meet so many good people. YouTube has been very good to me, making so many friends. That says, "Cool." Wolfgang says, "Don't you miss a car, Mike?" Well, here, I don't miss a car at all. I'm content walking everywhere. My hand has not been forced for me to own any type of transportation, car or motorbike, where it's absolutely necessary, do or die situation. So that's probably why I've gotten away so long without having one. Um, Someday I'm gonna get to the motorbike thing, I think. I think I would enjoy riding a motorbike around. I just probably wouldn't ride it that much. But if I lived somewhere, like, just say I lived in Valencia here, 20 minutes away, I'd need a motorbike. I mean, there'd be no way around it. And uh, I think with time, I'm eventually going to get to the point where I get a motorbike. But I don't think I'm ever getting a car. I just don't want a car. Um, I'd be too worried about it getting damaged. Um, but a motorbike would be fun. I probably would enjoy open air riding, going on some nature trip or something like that. I wouldn't want it to be. I wouldn't want my motorbike to be like I need it because I need to be able to get around. I would just want it for joyriding or taking a trip. But I miss my car because, yeah, I raced around in my GTI, um, my Volkswagen GTI. I miss turbo, I miss going fast. I miss my paddle shifters. Yeah, I miss that, but not to the point where I miss it so much that I would rather be there than, have that than here. And I could never have a car like that here. I couldn't go anywhere fast enough, not enough places. But yeah, from the car perspective, I miss going fast in a car. Um, occasional race once in a while. It's fun. Oregon Ducks. Hey, my friend, Oregon Ducks is back. Yes, he's an Oregon Ducks fan, and he's a new friend, subscriber turned friend from a little bit ago. Hey, I'm glad that you're here. I'm great. I'm great. Kind of a different location. What's new with you, Oregon Ducks? Uh, I'm trying to remember who you guys played recently. He knows I'm a Notre Dame fan. We just smacked the snot out of Pitt. Um, we have Syracuse this weekend at Notre Dame. I think it's their last home game. Um, but yeah, I'm good. All's well here in the Philippines. Sorry about the noise. Hopefully these AirPods help. But welcome, Oregon Ducks. I like how you say St. Mike because you remember the St. Michael thing I have. um, Wolfgang said the big disc was LD laser. That's it, laser disc. That's what they were. I mean, the damn thing looked like a big frisbee. But yeah, that's what they were. Gino's here. Good afternoon, Gino. I saw you not that long ago, Gino. Enjoy your live streams all the time, man. You're energetic, happy, very peaceful live streams. If anybody's not a subscriber of Dazzle TV, go to his channel. Gino and his wife Dazzle and his kid, they're all they're just a great family living the life, living the dream in the Philippines. Bill, hey Bill, how you doing? Below freezing here, Burr. Yeah, I don't envy you whatsoever. Um, I don't miss that at all. Even when my parents tell me, I always ask them, "What's the weather doing in Pennsylvania?" I'm like, "Not here." So, other than the below freezing bills, everything else doing good with you? Stowaway, good afternoon, everyone. Hey, good afternoon, Stowaway. Thank you for being here. You always bless me with your presence, and as well as all you other guys, always here supporting my channel. I love it. And it's like the longer it goes, the more people show up. That's why I have a hard problem ever ending it. Not that I want to end it. Most people end it when they see their viewers are going down. But Stowaway, I know you have a life, you have a lot of other things to do, but I'm thankful that you're here joining me and everybody else. Um, we kind of, it's like we always say, we build this little community where everybody starts becoming very familiar with each other and stuff like that. Plus some newbies here and there, which newbies are good. I like newbies. We had what is it, Electro Edis? I don't know if he's still here or not. He might be studying. He had schoolwork to do. How's your day, Stowaway? Wolfgang says, Mike, is it possible for a foreigner to own land and your house? Yeah, a foreigner can own land if you marry a Filipina, but I don't really technically know if it's in your name or in the Filipina's name. Um, I just know that my friend who has a house was able to get land and buy a house, but if I had to guess, I'm sure it's in her name, but I'm not sure after they become married how it works. Other than I just know that as a foreigner, I think the only way you can own land that I'm aware of is if you marry whether you're a woman or a guy, you have to marry a Filipino local. And I kind of like that idea. I mean, that prevents foreigners from just buying up all the land, which I don't think that would be very fair anyway. So I kind of like the idea that that's how, from my knowledge, Wolfgang, that's how I think it works. You have to marry me, a Filipina, and then you can get land and then buy a house or build on it. Amy says, Navy, Amy says, okay, I leave my phone, stand by your stream, sir. I'm going to buy food for my lunch. Appreciate it, Amy. Appreciate the support. And if you guys aren't a subscriber of Navy Woman, which is Amy, very good person. Uh, she has an interesting way of getting views on her live stream, which she's kind of like a superstar. She basically, at least a couple times, I stumbled across she was doing a live stream because I got the notification, but she was asleep. Here, she basically did a live stream while she's sleeping. And the first time she did it, she got 33,000 plus views. 33,000 views from sleeping. That's pretty amazing. And I think she did another one. I think she got more than that. So, hey, why not? If you can get 30,000 views, hell, I'd be happy with 10,000, maybe even 5,000. If you can get that many views just from sleeping, um, that's that's pretty amazing, but I highly doubt anybody wants to watch me sleeping. Uh, maybe they probably prefer a Filipina uh, to look at. Wolfgang says, I was dreaming of a Chevy Bel Air 1957, but can't afford it to import it to Thailand. And that's what people is funny. You bring that up, bringing your car here. I had a Volkswagen GTI, favorite year of 2017. When I bought it in 2023, it only had 7,000 miles on it. The guy kept it in the garage, and that's why I bought it. It's in mint condition. It's like my favorite year, 2017. Paddle shifters, the just everything, turbo. I mean, that baby flew. And then I did a little modifications to it myself, which I won't tell all that, but let's just say it was really fast. And people said, "Oh, you should just." It was paid. My card paid for, and they said you should just bring it here. I was like, "No way!" I couldn't imagine what the shipping would be. I'd be so. I'm very like OCD when it comes to taking care of stuff, especially my car. When I would go somewhere, let's just say I went to the grocery store or the mall, I would park my car as far away as the parking lot would go where there are no other cars around and then walk. Of course, I love to walk, so I don't care how far I am, but I'd park far away because I'm not parking where someone can park on either side of me, open their door and bang my door or anything. I'm so picky and protective of my car, my investment, like um and people are just that's just the way it is back home. They open their door, bang their door in your car. Some people do it on purpose because they're just haters or jealous of what you have. So yeah, I'd park as far away where everybody was too lazy to park. And yeah, that's what I miss my fast car and modifying it and tweaking some things to allow it to have more horsepower. Yeah. And it was always funny because I didn't make it obvious. on my car on the exterior the way it looked. There's nothing that gave it away that it was faster than the original um, stock. So nobody knew. And then people thought they knew, and then they challenged me to a race. Uh, Now I was challenged by cars that I knew what they were capable of doing, and I wouldn't try it. Some I raced. I guess I did race, knowing that I'd lose, but I just wanted to see where I matched up. And then other times I knew better. I was just like, oh, this guy was going to smoke me regardless. But it would take a very, very fast car to beat mine. Or, like I said, other people you would think might be stock and it's not. That's what I did to mine. I never did anything to draw attention, really specific things to draw attention to my car being modified. Wolfgang, like me, the land is in her name, but I have fruit of use on 99 years. All right. Well, that 99 years is good enough there, Wolfgang. I think you're good. Martin says, have you seen the live stream that just does pedicures? Does not surprise me. Like 900 plus watching, go figure. The most outrageous, which I'd say this maybe is a little more outrageous, but then again, some of these people that do pedicures and then do all these fancy artistic nails. It is amazing, very artistic and creative. It's not something that I would watch, but I could see how others are interested in it. To each his own. And but the one that I saw that was wild, and I have to admit I did watch a little bit, but I couldn't watch it where probably I couldn't make a channel like this thinking I would make money at it, but who would have guessed? This guy, the people with the ping pongs and they bounce it off multiple things until they make it into the final cup or whatever they've said. There's some guy when I was living in US, I don't know how it came into my my whatever on YouTube, how it just popped up when I was just scrolling. But he would be on like a staircase. He always was sitting in a very, very long, high staircase apartment. I don't know where he was at. Buckets and buckets of ping pong balls. Then he'd have all these contraptions to hit it off this and it bounce off the thing, and that's all he was doing all day until he would, I guess, eventually make it. He had thousands and thousands of viewers watching this, likes out the wazoo, getting super chats. Like I was just insane, and he was just bouncing ping pong balls off of certain little things he had set up until it made it to the final bucket, little glass. I mean, it's crazy. Wolfgang said that GTI is a machine. Yeah, I loved it. And the year was awesome. It was a 2017. Like I said, it had maybe, I think it was like 7,888 miles when I bought it. And that was in 2022, 2023. And I just couldn't believe the miles were so low on a 2017. And the guy was a retired guy that bought it, just wanted a fun toy, all original stock on it, didn't do anything to it, but was garage kept in the winter, no snow, no salt, no nothing, not exposed to the elements. It was mint. It was absolutely mint. And I paid, I'm trying to remember what I paid for it because I did put a lot down. I put 10 to 15,000 down on it. I think the total was 25, 24, 26, somewhere. I can't even remember. I did do some a little negotiating on it, but I knew I wanted it. I was like, you don't find cars like that particular year, that model with that low mileage garage kept. That was a win-win for me. And when you kind of want something, uh, you kind of you do the best you can at wiggle, getting a lower price. But ultimately, I knew I was going to take it anyway because I knew I was going to put a lot more down on it. Uh, Wolfgang said there's very good chip tuning out there. Really? Hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff I learned um, doing like these notifications in my car. Like I started watching this one guy on a YouTube channel. I can't remember his channel. where I started really learning stuff about just doing modifications on my own. And I also had people that like they were big GTI junkies. Did anything I wanted to do, all I had to do was buy the stuff. They would do it all, you know. I wasn't by any means any like mechanic or anything like that. I wasn't good at that stuff, but I knew a little bit. But I wasn't comfortable with doing it myself because I was afraid I'd screw it up. So I'd rather have somebody else do it. And if they screw it up, then they screw it up versus me. Um, but yeah, anyway, guys, where are we at here? 115 minutes. I don't know if there's anybody else here. I'm sure you guys are all bored, which I get it. I'd be probably bored, be bored with me too. It's time for me to go for some more walking. I need to get my first espresso. My mushroom coffee is good, but it doesn't give me quite the kick. It's more healthy than it is caffeine loaded. So I need to go get my coffee this morning and get a little more walking in. But I appreciate everybody that's been here. I mean, it's really gotten nice now. Uh, it's really, really, I mean, other than down that way, it's a little darker, but at least the direction I'm going, it's blue. And the sun's out right through those clouds. And you got all the tricycles coming by. It's just neat here. I just love it here. I love the Philippines. What can I say? But anyway, what's Wolfgang say? I don't recommend it. The tune APUB or EPROM, it probably kill the engine. Yeah, that's why, like I said, I got a lot of my friends that were more skilled in that department than me. Again, I didn't have enough knowledge or enough mechanical experience to want to mess with that car. I put it in the hands of somebody else. And Gino says, "Good live share. Enjoy your walk." Amen to that, my brother. Hey, enjoy yours too, Gino. Unless you already did. Look who decides to show up. Maybe I don't know. Che's been busy today. But thank you for showing up now, Che. But again, Gino, always appreciate you being here. You're a great person, supporting my channel. Wolfgang, seems you took a fantastic place to live. I like it here. You know, there's other people, you know, you got to find what you like. That's what matters to me, to you, to Gino. And like I said, or anybody, Ray, I could go somewhere. I could go visit Michael White and Gino and James and Karen. I might like it there too. I don't know. I haven't been there yet. All I know is between the 2 places I've been so far that I've actually lived here, I prefer it here. I like the location, being able to go to Sikihor on day trips, and there's so much to see on Sikihor Island. It's small, but there's a lot to see. So, um, Cebu, Bohol, you can take a boat ride to Bohol in 2 hours. So I don't know. I kind of like the closeness of just hopping on a boat and going. But anyway, I'll shut up now. Thank you, Che, for being here. She says hello to everyone. She's gonna go walk soon too. So good for Che. She's gonna get some exercise. I think maybe I'm rubbing off on her a little bit, which is good. She's younger. She needs to walk. Um, that way she can hopefully prevent problems in the future with health. But anyway, thank you guys for all being here. God bless you all. Have a nice evening, nice morning. Uh, be safe. And I look forward to seeing you guys all again sometime soon. So thank you, everybody. See you, Martin. Thank you again. Enjoy the gym. And, I'm thankful for you guys. Don't ever forget that. So God bless. Love you. See you later. Thank you, Wolfgang. Take care, Mike. Thank you for the stream. See you soon. See you, my friends. Thank you. Bye bye, guys and girls.